as you start using the same chapter and add all the pieces that you have left out, all of a sudden it's not 70 AD a destruction anymore, is the end of time. Because you're getting all the other pieces. You understand? So this is also an introduction to just tell you that in the past there has been different applications to those verses, and I don't put down those applications whatsoever, but notice why what I'm calling them. I'm calling them applications, not fulfillments. They're leaving verses out because they can't build at that point the entire structure, because it's not the days that we're living at the moment and the events that we're living at the moment. Yes? Yes? Somebody say yes? Yes? Okay. All right. Now, I want to now give you something that is called, that I have called, I don't know if, for a lack of a better word, link verses. Okay. I want you to picture if you have ever done an editing of different cameras. So you have different cameras recording the same thing, but from different angles. And now you need to put them together on an editing in which you grab one image here, you grab one image there, you grab one image there. So the voice has to be synchronized for the event when you have 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6 different cameras. So you have to have a line in which, okay, by the time this camera finishes at this particular minute, this other camera needs to be in line in the editing process, you know, so you have lines in the editing process just to synchronize the cameras. Okay, you need to synchronize the cameras. So these link verses, basically what they do is they synchronize timings. They synchronize timings. So when we're recording something that will need editing, one of the easiest ways, especially if the audio is coming one way and the image is coming another way, is to start the recording by clapping. You clap, and now the video recording grabs some of that clapping, and the audio grabs some of the clapping. And now when you put the audio and the video together, what you're synchronizing is the clapping. So rather than hearing, when you hear just one single clap, you know that both the audio and the image is synchronized. Okay, so with that analogy, I'm going to show you the verses that so far I have found that gives the linear advancement of the story. So come with me to the 7 churches, first of all, to the second last church, which is the church of Laodicea. Now, as I said to you in the first meeting that we had together, the 7 churches were contemporary churches. They were real churches in the first century, so it's an application for that time. They're also churches of the evolution of the church losing the first love, then being persecuted, they start compromising, then full on Babylonian, if you will, you know, with Jezebel as the queen. Then the church dies like a dead church. Then it revives in Philadelphia, and then it becomes lukewarm. So it's basically, you see it all through history, how those that carry the name of Christianity, they were just the evolution of it. So it's a linear progression. And then at the same time, we know that right at the end, those 7 churches are also applicable. You look at a Baptist church, and let me tell you, if you are in a Baptist church, if you belong to a Baptist church, would you have people that have lost the first love in their Baptist church? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have people that have lost the first love in an Adventist church, in a Pentecostal church, in a Catholic church? Yes.
Yes.
Do you?
Everyone.
That's right. So that's Smyrna is the persecuted church. Do we have people from different denominations, or the that we could group them in different denominations: Baptists, Pentecostals, Adventists, whatever, Catholics, whatever, that are being persecuted today. Even if it is a Catholic in the Middle East, or a Pentecostal in China, or whatever. All right, there's persecution that from that aspect of persecution. There's compromising people. So, we put denominations in a particular man-made thing. God puts groups in denominations, yes, in 7. God places people in 7 different denominations. Do you think Pentecostals or Baptists don't have lukewarm people among them? So if they have lukewarm people, and Adventists have lukewarm people, and Catholics have lukewarm people, guess what? They belong to a denomination, common denomination. It's called Laodicea.
Sure.
But if you have brotherly love, if you love God above all things and you have brotherly love, do you see that brotherly love in different denominations? Yes, but as far as God is concerned, he places you in Philadelphia. So salvation by denomination is only if the denomination is the right one in the book of the Revelation. Okay? So if your denomination is Philadelphia or Smyrna, don't worry. There's nothing wrong said about you. It's all good promises. Okay? So, but we'll more into that. So that is in a contemporary setting of today. We also will have those 7 churches. Okay. Now, if we go historically, we see the progression. So in that historical progression, we hit Philadelphia around the 1800s. So from 1790s, from the 1790s to the 1800s. From 1801 towards 1850 and so on. If we're looking at that huge revival that happened all around the world and so on, if we're looking at it from a historical point of view, okay. So I wanted you to notice this. Go to Philadelphia, and I'll get Denise. Would you be able to read for us, Denise, verse in Philadelphia? Verses 7. Yeah, verse 7.
Verse 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that opens and no man shuts, and shuts and no man opens.
Okay. Now, I want you to notice something. Think about it from a historical point of view. Late 1700s and towards the middle of the 1800s, the great revivalist, the Lord is coming, the Lord is coming, the Lord is coming, the Lord is coming. I mean, the cry of the Lord coming was just sweeping all through the earth. What we're going now through is not different to what they've gone in generations prior. Eventually, one of these generations will get it right. Or will get all the pieces of the puzzle, of the Lego puzzle. Okay, but so think about that revivalist era, and he says that he who has the key of David, he who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opened. Now, so having that's the 6th church. Okay, 6th church. Now look at how verse 4 with the throne room in heaven start. Maybe someone else would like to read for us. So the only thing that you need to do is unmute yourself and then mute yourself again, or you'll be very quiet with noses. So who do I have there? I've got R. Penko. R. Penko. Would you be able to read for us the first? By the way, what is the R stand for?
Renee.
Renee. Okay, Renee. Would you be able to read for us verse 1 of chapter 4?
Okay, sure. After these things I looked, and behold, a door standing open in heaven. And the first voice which I heard was like a trumpet speaking with me, saying, come up here, and I will show you things which you must take place after this.